Hi, it's Brian. Welcome back to my channel, The Independent Cruiser, the channel for people who love to cruise, but maybe want to do your own thing when you're in port. Today's excursion is Ancient Olympia from the Katakolon cruise port. Now, this is a super easy excursion to do on your own. You certainly can do a cruise ship-led excursion, but really no need because this is so simple. We got into Katakolon around 8 a.m. and we had booked transportation through GetYourGuide. GetYourGuide is one of the apps we like to use to book tours, things like that, and Viator. But mostly we like to do our own thing, so we use it to book transportation. And we found a bus that would take us from Katakolon Cruise Port to Ancient Olympia. And it couldn't have been easier. Had a 9 a.m. departure, so we showed up at the prearranged meeting spot around 8:45. The tour company, through GetYourGuide, gave us very explicit directions where to go. We went right there, just outside the cruise, the pier gate. Went right there, met the representative from the company, checked us off a list. We got on the bus. It's about a 50-minute ride from Katakolon to Ancient Olympia, to the little town, right outside the ruins there. So we get there about 9:50, and they said, hey, you've got 3 hours to see the place on your own. Meet back here. The bus is leaving at 1. So plenty of time. In my previous research, I had seen that you really didn't need to book your tickets in advance. It wasn't like an Acropolis or a Parthenon where, the tour gate gets really, really busy. I will say Ancient Olympia was a very wide open space. So we had no problem at all just walking up to the gate and buying our tickets and walking in. Like I said, it's a very large area, not nearly as well preserved as, say, the Acropolis or certainly Pompeii, but you could see there were placards kind of marking what each ruin was. We got this app that we downloaded. It was a walking tour that would do like 3D representations of what the buildings looked like with a short explanation. Very easy to navigate. Just when you got to the spot, you would just pull up the explanation on that area. Not as good as the Rick Steves audio tours I talk about in my other videos, but it was perfectly sufficient. So we spent a couple of hours just touring around. Like I said, really large site. I would highly recommend bringing your own water because there's really no place to buy water, snacks, anything like that. We were there end of July, and it was super, super hot. I mean, it was really, really hot. There are definitely a lot of shade trees, and so you'd see groups kind of huddled in the shade, taking a break, getting some water. But so it was manageable. But we spent a couple of hours just touring around. One of the fun things I like doing, other people were doing it, is they have the old Olympic Stadium there. So my daughter and I ran a little foot race, and other people were doing the same thing. The other thing we really enjoyed seeing is this is where the Olympic flame originates for every modern Olympics. They light the flame there, and it goes off on its torch pass to whatever next Olympic city. So when you see the torch rolling into Paris or wherever, it originated there at Ancient Olympia, and they have the site and the altar and everything there you can see. So that was really interesting. I would say this is definitely a place you want to see once in your lifetime. It's you're going to be there. Katakolon, there was not very much there. There were some shops and things like that. So we just thought, hey, we're this close. We saw there were a lot of cruise ship excursions going there. We would go to check out Ancient Olympia, and it was definitely worth it. So after about our 3 hours, we headed back to meet the bus. Where we pick up the bus, it's a very small little town with maybe 5 or 6 shops that sold trinkets and drinks and snacks and things like that. So we did a little trinket shopping, got some drinks and snacks. Then we got back on the bus. It was about 1 o'clock, just as they said, and about a 50-minute ride back to Katakolon. We got off the bus, and did a little stroll through Katakolon. It's maybe 2 blocks, maybe more like one, probably. Just a little cute shops really set up for the people coming into the cruise terminal. So we looked around a couple of those shops. We did enjoy stopping in a honey stand. We were beekeepers, and so we got to talking to them. Uh, Tried some of their honey. Bought some bee jewelry for my daughter, and then we were back on the ship. Back on the ship probably about 2:30. Super easy, really nice excursion, very easy to do on your own. So I would highly recommend it. If you've got any tips or you've done another excursion out of Katakolon, please drop that in the comments because I would love to see what your experience was and maybe share some tips with everyone else. Really appreciate you taking the time to watch the video. Please check out our other videos on the Mediterranean, and I hope to see you soon. Thanks.